Welcome everybody to a special edition webinar. This webinar is being hosted by Craig Wiggins Coaching, but someone had tagged Daniel Austin in a post about developing realtor lender relationships, basically center of influences, and someone called him the master. And then all of a sudden people were like, let's talk. So we thought that this would be a better format to get a hold of, more people involved and more people learning together. So there's a couple of things that we're going to do. Daniel's going to take over in just a second here, and he will go through his educational portion. But in the interim, if you have a question, you are more than welcome to put it in the Q&A. You can put it in the chat, but it might get lost. But you guys are welcome to chat with each other, any ideas you guys have. If you want advice from your peers and you want to put that in the chat, and other people can weigh in, because we'll probably have a couple hundred people on this call. But for actual questions for Daniel, if you could put those in the Q&A, that would be amazing. We cannot hear you. We cannot see you. This is a webinar, so please do not freak out. A lot of people ask that. And there was one other thing. Oh, if you are not currently a Craig Wiggins coaching member, I did create a special code for today's webinar. So if you use the promo code Austin, AUSTIN, it will actually get you your first month free for $3, or free, I can't talk, for $3. Don't merge those together, it's not free, $3. And then it would be $177 a month after that, no commitment. But on that, take it away, Daniel.
Awesome. I didn't know I got a promo code. That makes me feel excited. So
yeah, you're special, of course.
So
I almost made it TikTok.
I wish you would have. It's not too late. So, well, thanks for having me. Like Allie had mentioned, someone had tagged me in a post about building relationships with COIs, and we've done a very good job at that. And then I started getting requests for phone calls and meetings. I probably had over 30 people try to reach out to me. So instead of taking up the next 3 weeks of my life, we figured, let's just jump on a call. Let me answer any questions that you have. And I'm going to go through a short presentation on a few things that we do here in this agency. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. And I just assume, Allie, you can see that and everything's good.
Yep, you are good to go.
Okay. So this is what it is when you're trying to build relationships with COIs. You're building relationships. You're not worried about your numbers. And that's the whole point of how we've been successful with this. So to give you a little bit of a snapshot, this is what a COI is. And so let me do the next one. A COI is a center of influence. So most importantly, and in bold and underlined, is mortgage brokers. You can have realtors, you can have car salesmen, anybody that could be a center of influence that can help you grow your business that you can work directly with as a COI. When I talk COIs in my office and to other people, 99% of the time I'm talking about mortgage brokers. Okay, there's nothing wrong with real estate agents. I've got probably 100 real estate agent friends, but mortgage brokers are the ones that are doing the bulk of the business. If you can get in with one broker, they're doing 15 to 20 loans a month, where a real estate agent might just do 1 or 2 sales a month. So it makes sense to go after somebody that's doing more business. So when I say COI, it can mean a few different things, but we're going to be talking about mortgage brokers more than anything today. So here's a snapshot. So I started tracking this on Agency Zoom over the past few years. And you see every year we've grown. So this is how many items we've sold off COIs. And this is starting from like 1 or 2 COIs all the way up to, we have over 23 in our Agency Zoom as a lead source. Now that doesn't mean we've got 23 lenders in our back pocket that are sending us business all day, every day. It means we've sold business for at least 23 lenders over the past year, which is great. Some of them are heavier than the others. Okay. But here's a snapshot of what we've done. So year after year, we've grown. We've got a big goal. We want to hit, I wanted to hit 400 in 2021, which we came shy, and that's fine with me. We still grew. But next year, I want to get over 450. I'm sorry, next year, I'm talking about this year, 2022, we want to hit over 450 items off lenders. So That's where we do a bulk of all of our marketing time and energy. I'm not a direct mail kind of agent. I'll do what I do through Blueprint. I might do a little bit of outsourcing if we're a little slow. I do buy leads here and there throughout the year. I spend all my time and energy on COIs, and we'll kind of go over why I do that. But to start off, how do we obtain COIs? This is one way, and this is the way that's worked well with us. Different states, different markets, different people, it might be totally different, but I'm going to show you what we do here within this agency and give you some examples of the emails and social media posts and stuff that we do here in a little bit. So this is how we do it. There's 7 steps. When I have a new agent that comes on board, this is one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to build out this list that I'm going to be going over. And we hit COIs day 1 of their employment. This isn't something where I say, let's get comfortable, learn the system. In 6 months, we'll start looking at some COIs. We start that from day 1. To me, that's the most important. So we're going to do a live lender search here in a minute. But what we do is we go to Zillow.com and do a lender review search. You can just Google that, okay? You can Google lender review search or lender's mortgage broker reviews on Zillow.com or however you want to word it. And what's going to do, it's going to pull up Zillow. It's going to give you a little area to put in your city or your zip code. If you put your zip code in there, it's going to pull up a list of probably 10 plus pages, hopefully if you're in a big area, of mortgage brokers. You can do it off their rating through Zillow or another rating or distance. I don't care if they've got a 1-star or they have a 5-star. All I'm doing is trying to find names and companies. That's all I'm trying to do. So don't search based off what their ratings are, okay? Because I tell you, one of the hardest things is if you go off ratings, you have a 5-star or a 4.8-star lender, they've got 500 reviews, they probably already have someone in their back pocket that they help send business to, okay? Doesn't mean you can't get in with them, it's just a lot more difficult. So go to Zillow.com, do a lender review search, and these are giving you reviews off lenders. What you want to do is make your top 20, okay? Ideally, that top 20 is going to get down pretty quick to about 3, 4, maybe 5. But you want to make your list of a top 20. If you're a producer, make your top 20 list. If you're an agent, make a list for each of your producers and make sure no one's double stepping on some lenders. So make a top 20 list. Next, you're going to send an introduction email and ask to grab coffee. You can do lunch or dinner or whatever. Coffee just sounds a lot better for someone that doesn't know you. Okay. This is one way. And I'll show you a little snapshot of something that you can send in an email. You got to make it from you, though. Don't make it sound like a robot. So send an introduction email, which we'll go over, ask to grab coffee. In that first meeting, they agree, and we're just assuming they agree. Great, I don't know you. Let's go have coffee. In this first meeting, where I have it in caps, do not ask for any business. You do not want to be that annoying person that friends you on LinkedIn, and the minute you accept, you already have an inbox for them trying to sell you something, okay? We're not looking at that. Remember what I said, we're building relationships, not numbers. Worry about building a relationship first. It'll go a lot quicker. So we don't ask for business. You're going to sell yourself as a person, what you do, what you like to do for fun, your agency, all that good stuff. But you want to take more time than any to learn about them and their business. Okay? You should be very interested in what they do. If you're not, act like you're interested. Okay? But spend time learning about who they are. What do they do for outside of work? What do they do for work? How could you possibly help them in their business? Okay. 30 minutes or less. That's why I say grab coffee. Okay. This is your first meeting. You don't have to take too much time. They don't know you. You don't know them. We're just trying to build a relationship. So quick 30 minutes. Next, get back to your office. You had a great meeting. You're going to go ahead and schedule something out the next few weeks. You can do it the same day. You can do it the next day. Hey, John, had a great time, meeting you and going over, your plans of growth for 2022. Let's grab lunch in 3 or 4 weeks. Building relationships with lenders, it's not something you're going to do overnight. It takes time. Okay, so just remember that you're not trying to do something very quickly. This could take time. So you're going to schedule something in a few weeks out. Now, step 6. And if you heard me talk in Vegas, these are the same 7 steps I went in over in Vegas. And number 6 is important. You want to connect with them on social media. You've had coffee with them. You met them face to face. Now it's time to be a friend. So connect with them. And in a weird way, you want to, in a weird way, you want to stalk them. You want to know, what do they do? Where are they going on the weekends? What do they like to eat and drink? If they post it on Facebook, do they have kids? Do they have hobbies? Find everything you can about them on Facebook, Instagram, if they're on TikTok, whatever you can do. You just want to find out more about them, and you want to stay in front of them. So, like I said, find a common ground. What do they like to do? Do they listen to the same music as you? Do they like to go to the same restaurants? Do they drink whiskey and you drink whiskey? You know, whatever that is, try to find a common ground, because then that next meeting is going to be a lot easier. It says, oh, hey, you know, I noticed you're, you know, a big Tennessee, you know, basketball fan. I've got season tickets. We should definitely go, or take the kids, or you want to find that common ground. It's going to go a lot quicker. And then like and comment on a few posts to stay in front of them over those next 3 to 4 weeks before your lunch. Don't overdo it. Don't be creepy. Okay. Just like it. If they share, if you've got a mortgage broker, a real estate agent that's sharing a property that just came online, that little share button could do magic for them, because now you're sharing it with your 1,000 friends. So do a few likes and comments. You just want to stay in front of them very lightly until your next meeting. And that kind of reminds them, oh, I've got a meeting with Daniel in 2 weeks. So I've got a meeting with Daniel in 3 days. So do a few likes and comments. Step 2, meeting number 2. This is where it all goes down. Those common interests that you found after the first meeting and looking up, you know, social media, you're going to discuss that and let them know, hey, you know, we're into the same stuff. Outside of work, we're into the same things. That this could be very beneficial for us. We're going to get along great. Come out and ask for the opportunity on their business. Say, hey, I know you had some big goals in 2022, and so do I. I want you to if you'll give me just the opportunity and send me those 10 clients that you're working with currently, I'll be totally hands off, and I'll work directly with your customer and you directly. That's it. And just ask them for the business. If they haven't sent you something already, which they probably haven't, because it's just your second meeting, come out and ask them. Say, hey, I know you said you're working on 7 loans at the moment. If you'll just give me the opportunity, I want to show you what I could do. I want to show you how my agency works. And I know you'll love it. And just come out and ask. If you'll just send me the information, the 1003s, and we'll go over some documents here in a minute. If you'll send me the 1003, I'll reach out to the customer, introduce myself, and then after that, I'll quote it and I'll be hands off. So you want to come out and ask them and educate them. If you're following the true CWC, price is nothing. You're going off the value. Okay, you're educating your customers. Let the lenders know that. Let the mortgage brokers know you're not a price agency. Okay, we've got great rates. We're very reasonable with our rates. We're very competitive with our rates. But we're not a quick stop shop for cheap insurance. We educate our customers. We want our customers to know what they have. We want our customers to have the maximum amount of coverage that they need, and educate them on that a little bit so they know that you're not just a quick shop. Okay. Quick quote turnarounds, which we'll get to here in a minute, but we guarantee that we'll get a quote back to our lenders in a certain amount of time. So, like I said, remember that list of 20 in the beginning. Like I said, maybe you get 4 to 6 lenders off of that. Maybe only 2 of that 4 might be actually solid lenders. That's fine. Okay. If they already work with another insurance company, or they're just set in their ways and they say, I don't want to refer business to anybody, don't take it personal. It's fine. Back off. That's fine. Stay in front of them every once in a while. You don't have to drop them cold, but it's fine if they work with someone else or they don't want to send business to you. So you just can't take things personal like that. So here, these top 3, if you don't want to do the Zillow and you want to find something a little bit warmer as far as a mortgage broker, put something like these on the top 3 on your Facebook. Ask your friends who they know that's a good mortgage broker, and have fun with it. I put, looking for a rock star mortgage broker. Who do you know? You can be fun about it. You can say, hey, I'm looking to add 2 more lenders to my network. Who do you know? Ask your friends, because you know what that's going to do? That's common ground immediately. When one of your friends tags somebody, a lender, says, I love working with, Allie. She's a great mortgage broker. You've got common ground right there. You have a mutual friend. So if you don't want to do the Zillow approach and make your list, put something like this on Facebook and then just start writing down the names and who referred them. And that's what you should be doing over these next few days, reaching out to these people. Hey, Brad, standing over at Allstate. Allie recommended you, said you're one of the top brokers in the area. I'd love to grab some coffee with you. I'm trying to grow my network as well. Do something like that. Have fun with it, okay? Now, that email that you would send, let's say you do the Zillow, like I said, you got your list of 20. Here's like a sample email. You want to make it kind of personable, not too business related, but have fun with it. So, hey, I hope this email reaches you well. Our mutual friend, Craig Puckett, you see what I did there? Mentioned you were a great mortgage broker in the Knoxville area. Love to grab a quick cup of coffee and see how we can help each other grow. Does next Tuesday at 9 work? Set a date and a time when you're trying to set these meetings or coffees with mortgage brokers or COIs. Give them a date and time. Don't say, hey, you want to meet in the next few weeks? At one point, just let me know. You'll never get a call back. You'll never get an email back. Set that date and time. Hey, are you free next Tuesday at 9? Next Thursday at 4:30? Whatever it is, you put that out there. And then thank you for your time. I look forward to meeting you next week. You're already assuming that they're going to say yes. So say something like this. Okay, if you want to do the Facebook post or something like that, that's great. You can get some very good lenders, some warm lenders. All my agents do that usually about twice a year. They'll go online, they'll put something like that, and they'll refresh their top 20 list. That top 20 list is always moving, and nothing's set in stone. The ones that send you business day, the ones that don't, you basically put them on the back burner for a few months, kind of stay in front of them. Other than that, that's all you're doing. You're adding more to it. So these are just some samples of stuff you guys can do. This is what we're trying to do. We're building relationships, not numbers. So you've got a friend of me. You're trying to be that friend, okay? If they've got a quote and they're trying to wait, so let's go down this quick quote turnaround. We have a 2-hour guarantee. The minute you send me some documentation and we can reach the insured, we'll get a quote back to you in 2 hours. Unless there's a huge hiccup or there's some sort of, I don't know if you guys ever have issues with Advisor Pro or technology not working. Unless something like that happens, 2 hours guaranteed we'll get a quote. And that's the biggest compliment we have ever gotten time after time is how quick we are. I know some other agents, and they could be Allstates and they could be State Farms, it doesn't matter. It takes them 8 hours all day. It takes them 24 hours to get a quote back. Insurance is one of the last things that they need in order to close. So the more you delay it, the more you're delaying the closing, which hurts them from not getting paid. So 2-hour quote guarantee. My staff know, unless they're on the phone or someone's physically in front of them, they stop what they do and they knock out the quotes when they get that email from a lender immediately. That's the only reason that they should not is they have someone in front of them or they're on their phone. Know how the industry works. So a 1003, that's the residential document or application for a loan. So that's what we use. We use terms. So, hey, if you'll send me the 1003, that 1003 is going to have the customer's name, address, the new address, all their information, their cell phone number, so you can call them. The minute we get the 1003, we'll reach out to the customer or the prospect, let them know we work, hand in hand with you, and we start the quote immediately. DTI, debt to income. You'll get some quotes where they say, hey, I got that insurance has got to be under, $1,200 a year for the DTI. It's got to be under $1,200. So you'll hear those kind of terms. Don't price match what they have to have for a debt to income. That's probably one of the worst things you can do. Don't underinsure just to make sure you get a sale. We're honest. Say, hey, there's just no way we're going to get to that point. This house is, it's 6 miles from the fire department, high town class, bad IS. I'm sorry, just this one's not a good fit for us. Don't ever say, I'll get it there and give them terrible coverage just so you can get it closed. It's not worth it. C2C, clear to close. That's the most important one, clear to close. That's what they're waiting on. Once they get this insurance, most of the time, that's the last thing. they can get that clear to close on their business. And then how many times do we have vendors come into our office that bring cookies, pens, koozies, all that? You got body shops, you got glass companies, restoration companies, and that's great. We love cookies. I love cookies. Cookies go away too quick. Give them something that they can have for a lifetime. And what I'm doing is I'm saying, give them a real estate agent. If you know a real estate agent, there's no reason you should be going to lunch or coffee with that lender and bringing a real estate agent with you. A real estate agent to a lender is like what a lender is to us. It's gold. So you should always have real estate agents in your pocket introduced to lenders. Now we have a rule: one real estate agent per 2 lenders. Okay, I don't want to take one real estate agent and introduce them to 10 mortgage brokers, because they all talk. They've got groups. They hang out after work. That's the last thing I want is say, hey, Daniel, introduced me to Allie, a new real estate agent. Oh, he introduced me to her too. Me too. Me too. So what we do is, if you have a real estate agent friend, you can introduce them to 2 lenders, and that's it. Okay, and they can do business together as well. But if you can get a real estate agent in front of a mortgage broker and you built that relationship, that's a signed contract with that mortgage broker. You've got them for a lifetime. So we go after mortgage brokers more than anything, like I said, but have real estate agents in our pocket that we can introduce to them, because then it's a whole working family. We love it. So focus on being that friend. Okay. If you get a quote at 9 o'clock at night, you better believe I'm busting my computer out, or I've got a few producers that say, give me everything you got at night, I'll quote it. We'll quote stuff at 9, 10 o'clock at night if we have to. As long as we can get a hold of the customer and let them know, we're in a good shape. So remember, focus on being a friend, quick quote turnaround, know the terms and terminology of the mortgage industry, and focus on bringing like real value, like realtors versus cookies or pens or koozies or anything like that. So COI best practices: if they say no to a meeting, which you are going to get those people, like I said, don't take it personal, but you never stop pursuing them. Okay. Think about outside vendors that come into us, the restoration companies, all them. They want our business. And a lot of times we just say no, like, hey, just leave your cards and go on, that's fine. But if something were to happen, we've got all these people, and we know, oh, man, this guy comes here every single month. He's consistent. Let me ask him a question about this, or vice versa. Never stop pursuing people that just say no. Just back off, give them space. You never know what's going to change. We opened a new office June of last year, and we started hitting the local market for mortgage brokers. This is rare, but I had one of my producers go to an office, and he just said, my insurance agent had just retired 2 or 3 months prior, and he locked in that lender immediately. Don't bank on it. That's rare, but that does happen. So don't ever not pursue people. Just back off a little bit, but make sure you stay in front of them a little bit so they know that you're still in insurance, you're still wanting to help, and you never know what's going to happen to their insurance or agents or insurance companies that they use now. Could go out of business, could sell, could retire, wherever the case might be. You could be the second line. So always keep pursuing it. If you don't get a response, let's say you do an email and you don't get that response, pick up the phone. I know some people like to pick up the phone first and just kind of catch them off guard. I'm a little bit more laid back on how I do this, okay? Because plus the likelihood of you getting through to their phone is probably rare, just like the likelihood of someone calling me trying to get to me. The staff know to filter phone calls, and they do too. So, but if you don't get a response on an email, pick up the phone, okay? Don't keep burning up the email. Pick up the phone, ask if they got your email, say, hey, I seen your email last week, didn't hear back, love to kind of meet with you in person, and go through the steps again, just like you would do it over the phone. And don't be annoying. So if you're going to go to an office and drop some stuff off for the staff, if you want to do the cookies or the koozies or whatever, be in and out. That's one of the things that I personally can't stand, and I know a lot of agents can't stand, is when these outside vendors come in and they stay for 20, 30, 40 minutes talking to me and my staff, and it takes us away from our day. Don't be those people. In and out, 3 to 4 minutes. Be quick, let them know you're here, and get out of there. Let them know more than in the meeting, or if you're having trouble kind of, tractioning, getting them to agree to a meeting, let them know that you're trying to make their job easier. That's the big thing. I'm here because I'm good at what I do. You're a great mortgage broker. You've been recommended by multiple friends of mine. I'm here to just make your job easier. Okay, we're very hands-off. We talk to the customer, let them know we're going to run some quotes for them, get a little bit of information, and then we're hands-off. I'm not going to keep calling that person over and over and over trying to close it if I don't close it right off. I'm more hands-off with my lenders. I send the quote back to the insured, I send one to the lender, and then what we do is we're just hands-off. And the lender will let us know. When you're in with the lender, they'll say, hey, they're going to be calling you, yours was the best, or yours was a little bit higher, but I persuade them to go through you, or you guys are way out of ball, we're way out of line, so we're not going to even send you, they're not going to get that one with you. So try to just let them know you're trying to make their job easier, okay? We send it to them, and then we're hands off every time. And evidence of insurance requests are gold. I've said this for years now. When I was a producer for 6 years before I bought. I absolutely hated getting evidence of insurance requests. That's back in when we used to use fax machines, and we still do sometimes. But we get 3 or 4 faxes a day on asking, a request for insurance. You're getting a mortgage broker or a processor right there giving you a document saying, hey, I need your help. You get that as fast as you can, update the EOI, and send it back immediately. Say, hey, here you go. I got it switched up for you. I got the closing date or whatever it might be. By the way, I'd love to kind of work with you more. If you have any other people that are closing over the next few months, if you give me the opportunity to quote their business, I'd be very grateful. But EOIs, you're getting a name, a phone number. They're expecting you to talk, or they're expecting you guys to talk. Those things are gold. So don't get upset when you get an email or a fax or something in the mail about an EOI request. Bust it out as quick as possible. Let them know how quick you are, and see if you can kind of earn their business off of that. And go back to Jeopardy. You talk COIs and lenders and stuff, you got to worry about, guidelines and laws and stuff, and you got RESPA. So there's things that you can do, and there's things you cannot do. So we're going to go over just a few of the more important ones, and the most common ones. So Mills introducing realtors and lenders. Like I said, if you're going to go to a mill with a lender and realtor, that's fine. You're introducing them. That's great. Branded items. If you want to go take Allstate, Farmers, State Farm, whoever you're with, if you want to take branded items to the office, that's fine. You have to give those to all staff, receptionists, loan officers, processors. You cannot just give these to just the loan officers. So branded items are fine, but you have to give them to everybody. Okay, you can't just pick who you want to give them to. Educational lunches, those are huge. If you can agree to come in there, you'll supply lunch. You go to the mortgage office, you supply lunch, you're going to do a quick presentation on insurance. As boring as that could be, make it fun. This is what we do, and this is on the platform. Okay, there's a blank copy on the platform. It's Jeopardy. So this is a lunch and learn, but look how exciting and how fun this is. You split the room in half. They're eating their, tacos or burgers or sandwiches, whatever you got them. They're happy, they're eating, they're drinking sweet tea. Split the room in half. We're going to play Jeopardy. That's an educational lunch. And then they get to learn about you, your agency, a few scenarios with maybe common claims and roofs if you're, dealing with, the home side of things, and auto coverage and home coverage. So very basic stuff that's already on their deck page if they have insurance, but you're just making it more fun. So this is a great lunch and learn. So they're going to learn more about you and your agency and a few things while playing a game. Okay. Stuff you cannot do. You cannot pay for their continuing education or any fees. Gifts for strictly receiving business. You can't say, hey, every time you send me a quote or every time I close one of your quotes, I'm going to give you $10. Can't do it. Can't do it. You'll get in trouble. They'll get in trouble. It'll be a mess. You can't purchase leads for lenders. You can't say, hey, I'm going to buy this lead source for you, but you got to send me every lead that you get out of that. Can't do that either. So be careful on that. You can do some lunch and learn, some educational lunches. Those are the best thing you could possibly do. Have fun with it. Branded items are fine as long as you give it to all the staff. Just don't do any lead buying or educational stuff or anything like that. So, and Allie, I think that's all I have. So here's my email. Here's my social media platforms that you can join. You guys can connect with me, ask me questions, whatever you'd like. And now we can kind of open it up to Q&A, and I'll stop sharing that. There you go.
Okay, awesome. All right. So I've got a couple of questions, but for anybody who is wasn't here at the beginning, feel free to send any questions in on the Q&A. I did grab the couple that were in the chat already, but I just don't want to miss anybody. So if you have a question, feel free to pop it in the Q&A. But the first question is, how do you handle it if they have their own insurance department?
Honestly, we've got a few over here. I wouldn't even touch it. I wouldn't waste your time and energy on it, to be honest. They have their own insurance department in their business. There's some sort of kickback or something, some sort of promotional bonus they might get. I wouldn't waste my time.
Okay. All right. And then the next question is, if somebody lives remote to the state that they are selling in, so they obviously can't do coffee, do you have any alternative ideas?
Yeah, the only thing you could do is, there's a few things. You can have Skype coffees, as much fun as that is. We're still in the age, and it's not going to go away. We're doing more face-to-face Zoom calls and stuff like that. So you can still set up a Zoom call. Say, hey, grab a cup of coffee. It's going to be even quicker, maybe a 10-minute call. Just kind of want to introduce myself, see if we can work together. If it's someone that's not local to you because you're remote, I would still try to build that relationship on this, but get your agency owner involved and have them meet with the COI as well in person. So now they know someone that they're going to be working with directly, which is you, but they know the face and the name of the local insurance, the agency owner. So as much fun as that might be with being a Zoom call, that's probably your only option, is focusing on trying to find a way to get face-to-face, even though it's not physical. So
Gotcha. Okay. And then someone asked, what about those that have independent agent partners that may have more options than a captive?
This is where you're selling the CWC to me. You got Allstate, assuming most of us are Allstate. You got $1 billion company back here that's not going anywhere. Okay, we're one of the largest insurance companies, and then you're going to CWC them. You're going to let them know that, hey, we're a great company, but we educate our customers. Like I said, we're not a quick stop shop. We want to educate them. We want them to know what they're purchasing, and we never underinsure it. If it's not a good fit for us, I'll let the customer know, hey, this is not a good fit. You might be, might go do someplace else or go someplace else that might have a better rate. Okay. But the whole thing is, that's what I do. Sell them on the value that you're going to bring, but let them know that you also have this giant company backing you. And you're not doing the Progressives, the Geicos and all that, where if they have a claim, they're going to talk to probably 10 different people during the claim process, where you are you. The whole purpose of insurance is to cover you in case you have this claim. Last thing you want to do is talk to 30 different people. Okay, sell yourself, let them know about the value. You're local, they can physically come here, they can talk to me, and that's going to look good to the mortgage broker too, that they have a claim, Lord forbid they have a claim, they have a good experience with you, and your mortgage broker referred them to you. That's going to make them look even better, and they'll get more referrals, I'm sure, from the customer.
Yeah. And guys, you need to remember that, sometimes it's all about timing, because he was talking about the agent retiring, but sometimes we build up these inferior walls in our own head that have literally nothing to do with the reality. It's all in your head. So I'll give you an example. We had the same real estate agent for, I don't know, 7 years probably. And for anybody that doesn't know, I invest in real estate. I currently have 18 houses, I think. So, I mean, I'm a good connection for somebody, right? So it started with a processor who loved me. And then a new loan officer came in and she's like, you have to give everything to Allison Donor. He's like, I know that name. When I met him for lunch, he brought a new real estate agent, and I wasn't expecting this. I actually truly enjoyed both of their company. And the real estate agent said, just let me show you a house. Just let me show you a house. And the difference between his abilities and the current real estate were night and day. I have since closed, I don't know, 2.5 million in real estate deals with this guy. So like, you just never know. You just have to get your foot in the door to show that you're better. You just have to be better. I mean, a lot of people are worried about the $10 or the happy hour, but these people are making thousands of dollars a transaction. They just want to make sure you're not going to mess it up and that you're VIP. That's why when Daniel said he has that 2-hour window, guys, for a lot of real estate and mortgage people, that is gold, because how they're being treated when they call insurance agencies is kind of disgusting sometimes. Like, honestly.
Hassle. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're literally treated like second-class citizens. Like, oh, you're gonna make me work? Like, be different, be amazing, make them feel like they are the center of your universe. And it won't matter that you live in another state and don't buy their coffee. I promise you, because the reason why I switched agents wasn't that he razzle-dazzled me with anything. He just literally knew his stuff. And I was like, I need you on my team. You need somebody to just say, I want you on my team, not like, can I buy a spot on your team kind of thing. So I just wanted to kind of give you like a different perspective of that from a consumer. So another great question. When you send the quote to the mortgage rep, do you go over it with the client? You know, do you follow up with the client?
Oh, yeah. Like we give it to the client. We're giving it to the mortgage broker as well. For one, you remember I say a 2-hour guarantee once we can get the documents and call the insurer. I got to get their permission to run a quote. So we talk to them, get any kind of missing information that we might have, go ahead and do the quote and let them know what the quote is. I'm going to email it to you. Here's the quote. But I'm emailing it to the broker as well, because they're going to be getting quotes from, I'm sorry, rarely are you going to be the only insurance company they work with. Most of them have this fake law about having 3 insurance companies. Okay, so don't take it personal. Do what you do. But they're going to get their inbox full of quotes as well. So I always send it to the broker as well. But no, you go over it with the insured. You have to get their permission first. We do the quote. We let them know what the price is, the coverage. We kind of go over CWC, give them everything. We're trying to do the auto, the pup, anything else in the household. But we also do send to the mortgage broker. Once that's done, we're very hands off. We're not going to be those annoying reps that call them 2 times a day, every day. Are you going to bind it? Are you going to bind it? Are you going to bind it? When you're working with mortgage brokers, we're kind of hands off. Okay. Here's your quote. We went over everything. You know it. Mortgage broker has a copy. And then we just start getting calls and emails and whatnot, texts back that say, hey, they're going with you guys or they're ready to close. So we're very hands off once we do the sales presentation.
Awesome. Do you ever try to work with the processor in a busy office?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh, all day.
Me too.
Processors, honestly, mortgage brokers are great, but the mortgage brokers are the ones that are saying, you know, that they might be the ones saying, hey, work with these real estate or these insurance agents. The processors are the ones that are most likely sending you the quotes. EOI requests, most of the time they're processors as well. So absolutely work with processors.
Yeah. And I think processors are great because even if you can't get the loan officers to like buy or buy in and refer to you, because some just won't, if you can connect with a processor, which is what this is an example, they see the HUD statement, they see the insurance price, and they kind of learn like these boundaries of premium. And they'll say to somebody, I don't know if the agent said anything to you, but that premium seems kind of high. Have you checked that? And then they're like, no. And they're like, we'll get you closed, but you probably want to call Allie Donor and have her look at that, because I look at hundreds of HUD statements and that is out of line. You want somebody who's like in the trenches, seeing all of the HUD statements to send you business. Trust me, you do. Have you changed your approach since COVID started?
Not so much, more than we try to be in front of them in different ways. Like we were sending like handwritten thank you cards, stuff like that, because a lot of them working from home couldn't get together, restaurants closed, we couldn't have, you know, our quarterly lunch or coffee or whatever we might do. So we had to find unique ways to stay in front of them. And a lot of time it was just handwritten cards, social media. We did do Zoom calls before, just catching up real quick. Everything, when I'm knocking on wood, I say it's getting better and it gets worse and it gets better. Right now, everyone's open in my state. Okay. Everyone's back in the office. Everyone's open. Everyone wants to meet. So it's kind of a state by state thing. We're pretty much open. So our COVID quarantine stuff didn't last too long, thankfully. But we did have to adapt a little bit. So if you see someone, if you see it's their birthday coming up, a death in the family, a marriage, whatever it might be, a handwritten card by you, signed by all your agents, will go a long way too. Old school. Put a stamp on it, send it in the mail. So kind of look ahead and see when their birthdays are. We have a calendar in our office at all the brokers we work with. We have their birthdays on it. We send them a handwritten card, hand signed card. It's the Allstate trifold cards that are blank on the inside. Brian, happy birthday, and the whole team signs it. We mail it to them. Something around handwritten stuff just goes a lot further, I feel like. So, but we did have to adapt there, and it was kind of difficult. But we've done a few Zooms, and we did a bunch of cards, handwritten thank yous, and stuff like that, which we've kind of slacked on now because we're starting to meet them in person again.
That's awesome. So do you think that there's a best role in the agency to meet with the COI? Should it be the producer? Should it be the owner? Any thoughts?
My thing, well, yeah, I mean, when you get to if you gain a lot of COIs and you get to a certain size, it's hard for the agency owner to start meeting all these COIs every week, another meeting and this and that. So I build the list for my new staff and my current staff. They have their list. I'm in front of them when I can be, okay? They might see them once a month. I might see them once a quarter. So I'm still in front of them, but not as much as the producer. So this is really hands-on with my producers, not me. They know me, they know my name. These first meetings that we might go to, maybe I'll pop in the office, introduce myself. After that, it's more like a quarterly thing. My staff really, my sales team actually handle all of it. So if they want to, say, hey, we're going to do a lunch and learn over, Gateway Mortgage. I'm going to show up to that because I'm paying the $500 bill for all the food. I'm going to show up and have fun with them while we play Jeopardy. So, but more importantly, I would say, or more than anything, I have my producers handle most of the COIs. They just know who I am. I'm in front of them a few times a year, but then other than that, I'm pretty hands off.
Yeah.
Now, I've got my own lenders that send me business directly too, that I just round robin. I'm different. I don't write anything in my office. I don't take anything from my staff. So if I get something from a lender, it goes directly to my staff on a round robin. So I still have my own lenders, but anything that they build, I'm kind of hands off. I just kind of make my appearances throughout the year when needed.
Awesome. So just as a heads up, the owner's folder, because in your document section on the platform, in the document section, there's an owner's folder. That is where the Jeopardy game is located, just so you guys aren't searching all over for it. It's in the owner's folder. And then the other thing I'll say about networking in general is when it comes to the, right roles, guys, some people don't do well networking. I'm one of them. It makes me physically sick to network with people I don't know, like literally physically sick. I would not be a good person to go out because I might go in and invite them somewhere or give them things, but I'm never going to ask for the business in that environment. That is so uncomfortable for me. So as grand as this idea is, the smoking gun is that they're asking for the business. So if you're going to do this as part of your process, please don't just go out and make friends. I mean, you want to make friends. That's a key part of the foundation, but at some point it needs to convert to a business relationship, and you have to know when to mold that and make that happen. So keep that in the back of your mind. What kind of branded items do you usually give away?
Yeah, I mean, you could do, like I said, I knock the cookies because I want to give them real estate agents, but you got to stay in front of them. I mean, you're going to run out of real estate agents quickly. So you don't want to keep having these lunches and all that. So, pins, koozies, anything on business builders. I think there is some sort of value. It can't be over a certain amount, $25 or something per gift or something. Most of the stuff's not that anyway. So when we go by their office and give them branded gifts, it's our just monthly stop in. Hey, how we're doing? 3 to 4 minutes, we're back out. You're just staying in front of them, okay? But yeah, pins, koozies, coffee cups, tumblers, something like that. Just you got to give it to everybody in that office, though, not just the loan officers. Front desk, the receptionist and all them, they've got to get it. If not, it's a violation of RESPA.
Okay. What do you do after step 7 to retain the relationship, and how often?
Oh, so once you have that, nothing more than what we're doing, which is just staying in front of them on a really a monthly basis. But if you can show them after that step 7, you say, hey, just give me that opportunity to earn your business. Send me those 5, 6 current customers that you're working with. Let me show you what I can do. Knock on wood, you get a decent quote out of a few of those, because if you come back and you're town class 10 on all of them, it's kind of hard to build relationships off that. So, but the way we retain them, quick, efficient, let them know you're here to help, and let them know about the education. And these guys stay in front of them. If you can get that first group of quotes and have a few great ones in there, then that relationship's going to build pretty quickly off of it.
Yeah.
We've had some where we've gone 2-3 months trying to get a broker, and they finally send us one, and it's a town class 10 and an IS 50, and then we're just out of ballpark. I let them know, say, hey, I'm so sorry, this is extremely high. Normally they're not like this. It's just the IS and the town class, and kind of give them a little brief overview. But I'm so sorry. Don't give us another opportunity though. We'll do our best to see what we can do, but sometimes you just got bad luck like that. Don't stop going after them, but you just got to retain them off of that.
Yeah. And on the opposite side of that, guys, not everybody's going to be your cup of tea or your appetite, but make sure you're educating your lenders on solutions that you have for their problems. Maybe you insure knob and tube. Maybe you don't have a dangerous dog breed list. Maybe you have Airbnb short-term rental riders, like those unique situations where other companies can't even quote it or write it. Make sure you're expressing those things to them. Like if you're ever in a situation where you can't find insurance for a short-term rental person, I got you. Like that is a big thing too, is educating them on what you can do, as much as educating them on why maybe a particular client's premium is out of line. Okay, so Tammy asked, how do you broach the gap of wanting to look at both without seeming like you are pushing for more when it comes to having the home and auto combined, right? Because the lead is the home, but we obviously the auto. What's your talk path on that?
Yeah, so we talk to the insured. We basically don't give them an option. We give them 2 options. Let me rephrase or take that back. But we give them 2 options, but we let them know we're going to run the home quote. We're also going to go ahead and run their auto quote, because that's going to be our largest discount. So what we do, we find out what's on their keychain. You got your home key, you got your car key, you got your boat key, whatever other keys. What's on your keychain? Maybe it's just an auto and a home. That's fine. Everyone needs a pup, so you're going to throw that in there no matter what, right? So you get the home quote from them. You call them, hey, I work with Allie. She'd send me some information over. I'm going to run some home quotes for you. Are you okay with that? Great. Our largest discount is our auto insurance. And if we bundle, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some information from you on your car insurance, and I'm going to send you 2 quotes. I'm going to send you the home quote if you were to have the auto, and the home quote if you're not going to have the auto. That visual of that $500 difference in that price will most likely get you that auto insurance. You're going to add that quote in there too. But send them both home quotes, one with auto, one without, so they can physically or really see the difference of a $400 or $500, $600 discount that they're going to have. So you got to talk to the insured. When we do that, we gather a little bit more information. Like I said, always throw a pup in there, but send them both home quotes so they can see it.
So do are your brokers or lenders connected to a certain LSP? Like is it like a buddy system, or do
they all build them? So my LSPs, they go out, they build those relationships. No other lender or no other producer can go after that lender, and no other lender or no other producer, this is confusing, cannot go in that lending office. Because last thing I want is 3 lenders and 3 of my LSPs all go in the same office trying to pass business back and forth. Basically, if you get a broker in that office is yours. I don't want 2 of my producers going over there. So, and then they work directly, except the ones that I have personally that I've had for years, they build their own relationships. The lenders really send them business via their email. I don't ever see it most of the time.
Do you coach any of your lenders or real estate agents on what you're really good at? Like, hey, if you have a house with a new roof, or if it's under 2,500 square feet? Do you get that deep with them, or do you want an opportunity on everything?
No, we don't really go into much detail about that. I mean, if it's a lot of times we can't say no. I mean, there's a few instances where you say no. If not, we've got brokered companies we can broker it through. So, hey, if it's a log cabin, okay, well, I'm not going to say, hey, Allstate doesn't want log cabins. That's fine. I'll go broker it out with somebody else. So don't really say, I mean, how weird can it really be? An instant where you might run into that's probably pretty rare, something that we can't insure somewhere within a hard line. So I would just stay hands off on that. If you have that one that might pop up over the year, let them know. Say, hey, that's just, I've got no product for this. It's a $20 million Airbnb on the side of a cliff that's a log cabin. We can't do that. So just let those situations come to you, but I wouldn't say I can't do this, and that, because then they're going to have this list that they have to make sure that do they qualify or not. I'd stay hands off on that.
On the opposite spectrum of that, do you tell them what you're really good at? Not just like the niche market you have, but pricing wise?
I tell them we're great. I mean, we're great on everything, but they also know I don't sell off price. So they know we've got a great company. We got great coverage. Price wise, I hate to say, we've got great prices on homes. And then the first quote I get is a town class 10.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting a great rate. So I don't really go on. I just let them know whatever you send me, it's going to be the perfect policy for that person. We're not going to try to go short. Sorry. Joseph Puckett trying to call me. We're not going to go short on their coverages or anything. They're going to be insured with us. They're going to be a great policy, and don't really bring up price as much. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
totally
that price, they might try to lock you in on that price. So well, you said you can get this under 1,000. Now you're running IS. They've got 2 claims and this and that. Now you're up high. So I don't really, put myself out there and say we specialize on price. We focus on making sure the customer has the best insurance they possibly can.
That's awesome. What do you say when they just say, I'll add you to my list?
That's fine. Add me to your list, and I'll keep, sending you emails and messages, and I'll stay in front of you as much as I can. Most of them are going to have that list of 3. Like I said, there's that unwritten rule that you got to send it to 3 insurance agents. That's fine. If I'm on a list, I'm happy, because in my area, probably 7 out of 10 times I'm going to beat what they have from other companies. We've got a great home rate right now, a great home policy. So most of the time we're in a pretty good position where we can take it. A list is fine. Now, if you're not starting to get any business off that list over the next few weeks or month, that's where I would start going back and try to have that other coffee or another lunch, maybe do a lunch and learn, try to get back in there. But they're going to put you on a list with others and you're getting quotes. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might have 2 offices that send me quotes, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on the list. The rest of them, we're on a list with all these other insurance companies, which is fine.
That's awesome. What's the best way for owners and staff to educate them on their jobs?
Lunch and learns. You play that Jeopardy game, make it fun. I mean, you already have the sample, it's on the platform. Make it interesting and make it fun. Let them learn something about you, learn something about your agency, and learn some stuff about claims and, deductibles and all that. I think one of the auto ones is, you hit a deer going down the road. How's that covered under your car insurance? A lot of people don't know how that's covered. And now they're going to learn that, and they're going to always remember that because of you. So make it fun. The best way you can educate them is a lunch and learn. You can send them an email and get very detailed. They're probably not going to read it. But if you have a lunch and learn and they're dialed in and they're playing a game with you, they're going to learn more off that Jeopardy game than they will in just an email being sent to them.
Do you guys have like a set of templates for introductions or follow-up that you guys use, or are you just kind of winging it?
The one I just typed out for this was just something that we would probably send out. It's got to be personable. Can't look like it's being sent to 10 other, mortgage brokers. It's got to be something that comes from you. So the sample that I put up there, that's probably your best one. Hey, this is assuming that you've got a mortgage broker from one of your friends off Facebook. They tagged them. That's basically what that sample was. Saying, hey, Allie recommended you, said you're a great mortgage broker in the area. That's great. I'm looking to add, 2 more lenders to my network. Love to sit down for coffee, something like that. You got to make it your own. If you make it sound like a robot or if you send the same email to 5 people in the same office, that just looks bad. Make it personal.
I like it. So Ryan has a concern that the bulk of their people are in their early 20s. So Ryan's dad has been in the business for years. So if this is the right Ryan Lindsay, I'm assuming it's Ken's son. So, you know, he knows what he's doing, but he looks young, which I can understand this internal battle with that, because I was 26 when I started my first agency. And so, and I was a female. It was like a 1 female to 800 male ratio back in the day. So, you know, it was hard but I think a lot of my paranoia more came from my head, because you have some younger staff that are going in and crushing those relationships.
Oh, I'm young. Well, hold up. Right?
Are you 20?
33. 33. I started when I was 23 or something like that with Allstate. No, so the best thing you do, find young mortgage brokers. You both are young, you're both hungry, you're both sales driven. Try to find a young mortgage broker. Try to network with those, so that way you guys can grow rapidly together. There's some mortgage brokers, they've been in it for 20, 30 years. They're laid back. Their leads just come in. They're not really hungry for it. They just comes in. Connect yourself with people of the same age group. Start a networking group. Say, hey, we're going to meet once a month. Mortgage brokers, real estate agents, maybe add a commercial and insurance agent or something, kind of make it fun. But start your own network group of just, you know, young entrepreneurs or something like that. If you're young and you're worried about being young, go after the young brokers, because they're probably worried about being young too. But I wouldn't have that hold you back at all. Just saying, I'm young. Like you said, I think my father's been in the business for 20 years. I'm looking at taking over. You know, this is a career for me. So I'm trying to build relationships now that I can have for a lifetime. And that's, you know, that's if they're older. If they're young, they're in the same boat that you are.
Yeah. And I will say that I'll give you a nod to your youth, Daniel, is that he was probably one of the first people to really impress me with his social media usage. So that's your advantage. You might not have the gray hairs and the wrinkles like us old fuddy-duddies, but the way you want to communicate and the way you want to connect, like you do things differently. It isn't that one is right or wrong, but you might work best for another lender or mortgage because you're willing to work at 9 o'clock at night. I'm not willing to work at 9 o'clock at night. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I had plenty of lender referrals and real estate agents, but they knew, like, I had 4 kids. You know, when I was an owner, I worked insane hours, but I'm not doing weekends and I'm not doing bedtime. Like, I had to have some boundary, and I chose to do that. But the person down the street was available 24/7. And that's what I'm saying. There's not a right or wrong way to do this, guys, but you have to capitalize what you're great at. And if, like with Daniel, he's great at selling proper policies, educating people, leading with liability, but also people want to be his friend. They want to be in his circle because, well, 1, he's great, but 2, like, he's funny. His TikToks are funny. He even went viral. How many views did you have on your TikTok?
It was through one of my producers when she copied me. I think we had over 7 million views.
7 million views. She's kind of famous, so you're in the presence of a superstar. But a lot of that I feel like is in people's heads. So please don't let anything, you know, whether it's your height, your weight, your age, your haircut, I don't care. Get it out of your head and be confident in yourself. Yeah. And if they don't want to do business with you, that's okay. Find someone who is your people and work on them. So Kayla asked, do you send them the auto quote as well at the same time until they say?
Oh, yeah. If we do the quotes, we send them home with auto, home without auto. Those 2 home quotes, and then the auto and the pup and anything else that they might have. We send it all. Just make sure you send both home quotes so they can really see the difference in price.
Okay. And then what about real estate agents? Most don't think about mentioning insurance. Do any of those work for you?
We have a few real estate agents that I've known for years and kind of grew up with. So they kind of refer a little bit of business, but even though I've known them for 20 years, I don't get much out of them because it's really up to the broker to get all this kind of information ready for the closing.
Okay.
So that's why we spend more time with the brokers. Nothing wrong with real estate agents. You just be introducing them to the brokers, though. That's great for them.
Awesome. What are your social media handles? People want to know.
Oh gosh, I think they're all different. Find me on Facebook, and then you can go from there. I think my Instagram and TikTok, I think everything's tied to my Facebook. If not, the minute I get off this call, I'll make sure everything's tied to that Facebook.
There you go. Okay, so again, guys, if you're a Craig Wiggins coaching member, this will be recorded and loaded to the live training platform. If you need his Jeopardy form for his game, it is on his slideshow will be loaded behind this recording in the owner section. I will also have the slideshow in there. And if you are not a Craig Wiggins coaching member, you can join today. There's a special code. Use Austin, AUSTIN, and you will actually get your first month for $3. So we would love to have you. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out. Daniel, you're amazing. Thank you for doing this for everybody. Thank you for everybody who participated.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.